I'm so grateful and thankful for to be here with you guys today. My name is Dr. Lillian Coley, and this is Keep It Real with Dr. Lil. I wanted to come on and give you guys an update. We had a New Jersey hearing on, not with a hearing, I guess it was whatever it was, on Friday. Remember, we were trying to get that confusion about the jurisdiction, da da da. Da. Well, of course, they backed away with that situation, but they tried to go off with these other situations. And we're not going to go through all the details now because I'm going to let the authorities do that. But in the meantime, I think that it's a very thing for everybody to know that there's going to be some rocky roads coming up. So at the end of the day, just embrace yourself. It's not something for everybody to always have an opinion. Sometimes you just really need to pray about what you think you saw or didn't see. But at the end of the day, if something is illegal going in, it's illegal going out. So it's a whole lot of stuff that happens. We have this week, I want us to start looking at the Third Circuit. Somebody say Third Circuit. The Third Circuit is the judges that were part of my case and Ramirez's case for, I think, pretty much the first 10, 12 years of the case. We're about 14 years in now. The case was closed, and I'm talking about the family court case in New Jersey. There's only one that I had, a foundation case. It was actually two, guess I should say, because the first one was a custody case in Atlanta County, and the second was a custody. The second one was, yeah, it wasn't a custody, but it was a paternity and support. The first one was a custody in 2011. There were two separate cases, but at any rate, in a nutshell, we are not going to be worried and concerned about anything that doesn't have jurisdiction. I'm not even going to waste my time with that. So that stuff, it is what it is, right? So if you have something that has no foundation, it has no meaning or purpose, there's no sense of even trying to deal with it. So to make a long story short, I wanted you all to know about the Third Circuit, which was dealing with the judges that were part of this whole arena. And we had talked about before what that arena was. And unfortunately, it's getting worse as we find out more things about what they call a ring of things. And that's what we're going to talk about next time I come on about the ring. As and I had said in one of my videos before, and I'll try to find it. It had a lot to do, obviously, with money and corruption, but it also had something to do with people's insurance and things that they were using to build the insurance for. So at the end of the day, I wanted you guys to know that even though there's things out there, they're saying what they're saying. The case in California again is not paternity. It was a fraud tort case. It will be on a reconsideration. There won't be anything paid out for somebody who did fraud. This is not going to happen in this country. Now, what happens is procedurally, you have to allow people to file their motion, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, lawfully, it won't happen. Lawfully, it won't happen anywhere. So people can try to do what they want. They can try to even go for your own properties. But at the end of the day, it won't work, everybody. If you don't have the law on your side, it won't work. So I wanted you all to make sure y'all understood that because I know I got a few emails, as always. And I have an email thing opened up. We're going to be trying to open up a line because I know there's some other people in Camden going through some really bad things under certain nasty judges who don't care a thing about women or minorities or anybody for that matter. And we want you to be able to get help. So there's a process to do that. And I'm not talking about not liking somebody. I'm talking about somebody who's trying to make up the law. So we know what the law is for us. I am crystal clear on what's going on. And guess what? It's going to stay exactly the way it is. And we don't even have a real seal record. So let me explain. So before I go, what the seal record stuff is. In our case, there was a seal record for one case. It said this action, this, which means that each time you come in, you got to do it over and over again. And some judges didn't. Now, the seal order was only for the public. Seal the public, seal the records from the public. It had nothing to do with the parties. Now, if it was true that it has something to do with the parties, and it wasn't, we didn't do anything anyway. So you have what you call a sham type or shotgun situation where people want to make stuff say something. So what sometimes you got to do is let them say it because you need it. You need the proof, right? So you let them go ahead and say it and even do it. Try to do it and then respond. Because a lot of times they'll say, well, I wasn't going to do that. This didn't happen. The law is the law is the law. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew what was happening. I didn't get a chance to get on last week because I was really busy. And good things, really good things I want to stay focused on, really good things I want to be a part of, really good things I think that other people, including this community, would be able to benefit from. So yeah, there are some things happening, and they're not to some people's likings, but we're satisfied. But anything that is not what it's supposed to be, when I see it, I'll let you know, because I'm going to have to say certain things, because obviously I can't sit and do nothing, right? So I know for me that when I was a part of a certain situation where I had to be a part of another situation, I got to talk in riddles, and they gave me instructions, right? So I knew what I needed to do. So sometimes you got to let people hang themselves. Let them say it and let them do it, and then respond later. Are you hearing me? So thankfully, here on Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil, I want to be authentic. I want to be open and honest about what's happening and what's not happening. And when they do what they do, then we're going to act on it. And like I told people before, if I see any sanctions, if I see anything around that arena, I will be filing a police report. So, and my police report ain't going to be private. It's not going to be private. So you can decide what you want to do, and I'm going to decide what I'm going to do. But at the end of the day, people going to do what they're going to do. As far as the attorney fees in California, as I told you before, that's procedure. That whenever somebody wins a dismissal, they're automatically given the right to do attorney fee motion. Well, in this case, will be doing a motion for reconsideration in California, asking the judge to take a second look. So that will stop everything eventually. But people want to get it out there, let them get it out there, or do what they do. I don't really bother me. As long as I'm God's child and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, that's all that matters, right? So that's where I'm at with everything. So I wanted to just recap, and the recapping was just the two things I just said. One is that we did have a hearing. We didn't have a hearing. It didn't talk about the jurisdiction. It was supposed to be only about jurisdiction because we don't have it in New Jersey. There's no jurisdiction in New Jersey, so the only thing you can talk about is jurisdiction. So we didn't talk about that, and so forth and so on. We didn't talk about what mattered most was whether or not somebody had jurisdiction or not jurisdiction, because at this point, the kid is older. You can't even get paternity. So we knew why we were back there, or why somebody asked us to come back. But at the end of the day, it didn't mean anything. It had no meaning. It wasn't lawful. And there's not going to be anything out of it. But like I said, you have to sometimes let people say stuff on record. Get it on record. And then that way they can know whether this person is part of the last establishment or they're moving forward with a positive establishment. And in our case, it was not. So we have the situation that we're doing right now, what we're trying to empower the community based on our own experiences and what we've been through. When things change and something happens, I will inform you. There's going to be nothing, but there is definitely a ring going on, and it's a ring of corruption.